Right, we're on. I'm down here at Cardrona Golf and Country Club. Going to play this hole, going to play 4 holes with irons only. Need to practice my irons. Starting off with par 5, 521 yards, playing off the white tees, into the wind, irons only. It's going to be tough. Right, starting off 4 iron. Actually, who am I kidding? 3 iron. Start off 3 iron, par 5, here we go. Good. Yeah. So I know what you're thinking, what is the point in just going out and hitting irons? Well, during lockdown, it's become apparent to me that one of our golfers at Peebles Golf Club is absolutely ripping the course apart because he's playing that course all the time. He normally plays all around the country, all around the world to be honest. So he's always hitting driver wedge, he's always playing the same shots all the time. I mentioned to him the other day, why don't you take an iron off the tee to leave yourself different shots into the green, therefore it's not always the same, but of course that's purely for practice to try and feel as though he's playing other golf courses. Today for me, I just want to hit irons all day and hit different shots that I normally hit. Here I normally hit driver, then 4 iron and a wedge, or driver hybrid onto the green, but today I've hit 3 iron and I'm now miles back. Right, we've got an issue already. We've already got an issue, my laser's no longer working. I think I've got about 300 yards left to the green. I've also just noticed that I've only got a 4, 6 and 8 iron in the bag, plus my wedges, so I don't have any other irons. I've got 3, 4, 7's missing, 5 missing and 9 missing. Really, I'm testing myself today. So hitting 4 iron again. Sorry, so 3 iron off the tee, 4 iron now. The right side's good, we draw back in. Yeah, good. That's a great strike. I had no idea that I hadn't brought the other irons with me, but that's life. So it's going to be a real challenge to try and make par. But I guess that's what the drill's all about. Another thing I'm trying to do today is trying to get the butt end of the golf club, so the fat end of the grip, past the leading edge of the club at impact. So I want forward shafting. I want to make sure I'm striking these irons well. That and a combination of, how would you say, I feel as though when I'm striking the golf ball, when I strike the golf ball at the best, I'm looking at the dimple on the left hand side of the ball. So I'm looking target side of the ball, so therefore I'm always going to be ahead of the ball at impact when the ball's on the ground playing iron to get that ball turf strike. So the focus today is to get that butt end of the golf club ahead of the leading edge and also looking at the left side of the golf ball for a ball turf strike. So this is decided to work again. I've got 1-2-1 to the pin. So 1-2-1 for me into the wind, a wedge is 140, so we're right on the limit here. Obviously I've got no 9 iron, 8 iron, 1-2-1 at the wind. I'm going to be so cute with that, it's going to be hard for me to keep it online. I'm just going to go full out wedge. I'm going to try and ensure I get the butt end of the club ahead of the leading edge, and I'm looking at the left side of that golf ball. Butt end ahead, left side of the golf ball, 1-2-1. 1-2-1. Oh, I've struck it so well. But I think that's about 10 feet. So there was no option to pull out the shot there. I only had a wedge in hand. I had to make sure that I was committed to that. There was no soft shot, there was no bailout. It was a full-on wedge, 1-2-1 into the wind. Mine was made up for me. So there we are, 3 iron, 4 iron. 6 iron, 8 iron wedge and a couple other wedges in there. Putter. And we're now sitting there about 8 feet. Right, let one go there. 280 yards, par 4 now. Uphill. Those bunkers are about 180 or so into the wind. I'm not taking 4 iron, 3 iron. I'm just going to have to pop 6 iron up there, which is going to leave me a longer shot into the green, but it's the name of the game, I guess. That is 6 iron. 6 iron, leading edge, butt end ahead of leading edge, looking at left side of golf ball. Butt end ahead of leading edge, looking at left side of golf ball. Class. Good. Actually wasn't total class. Popped it a little bit up in the face, popped it a little bit high. Still okay though. Right, I'm quite far back here. Those bunkers couldn't reach with a 4 iron. Certainly could not reach with a 6 iron. Ballooned it a little bit. I've only got 107, but it's uphill all the way. It's on the upslope as well. As soon as it gets up there, the wind's going to bring this back towards me. So an 8 iron again, I feels a little bit guided, a little bit steery. I'm going to fully commit to a wedge again, like the last hole, but this time I'm going to make sure the butt end of the golf club gets further ahead of that leading edge, and I'm looking more down at the left side of the golf ball, so I'm really getting body ahead of the golf ball, if you like, to try and drop the flight a little bit. So I'm going for a low, punchy, squirting wedge the best I possibly can. Wish me luck with that one. But these are the challenges you're faced with when you don't have the full set with you. So I'm really trying to get that leading edge hooded over, that butt end ahead, to try and get some sort of low punchy squirt through here. A lot of weight on the left side. Probably going to draw as well coming off the upslope, so I'm going to try and get up to the right hand side of the pin. Aim well right. Really trying to get this butt end ahead, looking back at the golf ball through impact. Really got into it. It's done alright. So you can see how deep the divot is there, because I'm hitting onto the upslope, so I've really just hit ball, everything's going down towards the ground to get that ball up, to try and get as much out of that wedge as I could. I reckon that's probably about 8 feet again. Happy days. Let's take a wander up here. Aye, not quite 8 feet. Right, poor. Wasn't a good first putt. Still a par on the card. Let's move on. Ever since we come back from lockdown, I've really struggled to get the putts up to the hole. Everywhere I've played, the greens have been really slow. Go and leave a comment in that box below before I get to the next green. Tell me to hit it harder. Just right, hit it harder. Hit it harder! Exclamation mark. Right, we've started par. Hole 3, 429 yards. And it's down breeze, so if I hit 3 iron, I'm probably still, I'll probably end up hitting that hard wedge again. So I don't want to do that, because I've done that twice in a row. I'm going to take 8 iron off this tee, maybe leave probably another 8 iron, or maybe even 6 iron at the green, depends on how the wind plays, but I'm not wanting to leave myself a wedge, so let's use all these irons. Let's hit 8 iron off the tee. Jesus. Made that look easy, eh? Right, 8 iron down the right side, on those 2 telegraph poles, little draw. Butt end of the club ahead of the leading edge. So butt end ahead of leading edge at impact, and I'm looking back at the left side of the golf ball. So you can see the position that's put me in. There, dragging through real full commitment to my iron play, which I feel as though I've had so far. I've committed to everything so far. I've never missed a green or a fairway yet. 8 iron, butt end, left side of the ball. Take that. Right, 191. So I got past the bunkers, the downwind, 8 iron off the tee, being elevated, obviously getting the ball high in the air, the boost with the winds helped me, left myself 191. Now, again downwind, I've got 8 iron or 6 iron, that's my options. Well, there's more than that, but that's the 2 clubs I'm choosing to opt for. I'm going to take 8 iron, I'm going to give it 8 iron again, full commitment. I want to get this ball up there, high, try and get the wind to go. If it lands on the front edge, perfect. My 8 iron normally flies 160. So we're looking for 30-yard boost with the wind here. My 6 iron flies 180, but downwind is going to fly 190. This is going through the back of the green. Much easier shot to miss at the front of the green. So I'm going to try and go full out 8 iron, see what happens. Again, butt end of the club ahead of leading edge, looking left side of the golf ball. Again, even a little draw here is pretty good to keep away from the bunker. It's going to add a little bit of distance. Butt end ahead of leading edge, looking at left side of the golf ball. Absolutely pured that. Yep, middle of the green. So it's amazing when you don't have all your clubs with you. You start to calculate things a little bit better, a little bit more homework goes into this shot because there's a little bit more thought goes in. I would normally have taken 7 iron there, full commitment to the 8 iron. It's paid off, guys, it's paid off. So approaching the green, the full on 8 iron landed. If you can see it just right at the pin there. So it's amazing that full on commitment, that being focused on an actual task rather than the outcome, I feel like. So I'm focused on trying to get the butt end ahead of the leading edge and looking back at the golf ball at impact. That's controlling low point, it's controlling my centre of mass, it's getting everything ahead of the golf ball, which is what iron strike's all about. That's what today was all about, was to try and come out and hit irons better with a focus and a vision. So I knew what I was going to do, fully immersed in the process as opposed to the outcome. Well, the outcome's pretty good. I'll take that every day. Maybe I should focus more on putting. Did you leave a comment to tell me to hit it harder? Because I left it almost short there. Right, 3 pars in the bag, all with irons. I've hit 3 iron, 4 iron wedge, 6 iron wedge, 8 iron, 8 iron. 429 yards was the last hole, I think, 430. This hole here, 4th hole, par 4, 459, way down there. So this is a tough hole with hitting driver. It's a tough hole. Driver, 9 iron, wedge, whatever it is downwind today. Yes, that last hole there I played a lot shorter with 2 8 irons because we're elevated to get that boost to get the ball in the air. I want to hit a long iron into the par 4, I want to maybe hit 4 iron at this one, so this is part of the practice. I want to leave myself that shot. So I'm going to hit wedge off this tee. 459 yards, wedge off the tee. Man's lost the plot. Right, good solid pitch and wedge, 459. It'll have to be a good one. Butt end, the head of leading edge, looking back at the golf ball. In there. Try and feel that, Stevie boy. Butt end, looking left. Absolutely pured it again. And you're seeing ball tough strike every time. I don't think I'll reach that green with an iron now. See where T was? Divot. Let's just have a closer look at that. There's my shot there, hitting in that direction. And you can see where the T was and where the divot is. And we have hit up there. That's the complete wee run there. That's the compression I was after, getting ball tough strike. When you think about the actual process of getting the butt end of the golf club ahead of the leading edge, your body then aligns to that. So your body does something different than normal to try and make that happen. Now whether that's, if you do it with just hands, you're going to feel the strike's not as good if the body starts to move. So everything's going to kind of adhere to what's going on. The last video I did talking about how the golf club works and putting yourself in an impact position and then returning to impact position, it's very similar to that. Also understanding that the leading edge of the club is flat. The sole of the club being flat, if that lies flat on the ground, there, then you can see the shaft of the golf club leans forward. And that is everything we're talking about here. That is the butt end of the club being ahead of the leading edge, yet the club's just in its natural position. And how do we get the club into natural position? Well, our body will align to it. Start off more in that position, return to that position. I'm never reaching this in two. Here's the edge of the fairway there. My ball's just here. And I've left myself 310 yards to the pin. Okay, so that's bad management. So 3 irons not going to reach, so I mean 3 irons hard to hit. I guess the idea today is trying to hit irons whether they're hard or not, but I'm going to take my 4 irons because I'm more comfortable with that. Can't reach anyway. Still the same focus though. Butt end, head of leading edge, looking at left side of golf ball. Anywhere down there is good. It's gone quite low, it's a runner. So that's worked okay. I was on a down slope here, tried to stay with the down slope, so forward shaft lean was optimum there, was maximum if you like. Taking loads of loft off that 4 iron, which made it squirt as low as it did. It wasn't very pretty, trying to get it as far as I could, but you know what? That is what today's all about. Up and down it for 4 pars? Go on then. Right, I've left myself 51 yards, hit that 4 iron 280, probably carried it about 180 and ran another 100, which was the... It's fine, it's absolutely fine. So I'm going to take my illegal wedge, Smithworks 58. Thanks guys for sending me that, and see if I can up and down it. See if I can get some action on this. 51 yards, up and down for 4 pars, irons only. Come on, Steve. Right, we're about 8 feet. Oh. That wasn't very good. Nothing to do with the wedge. Just tried to slice under it. Of course it's landed and spun so much it's gone so far right. It's probably about 10 or 12 feet to the right of the pin. Which is poor compared to my full wedge shots. You see that? So when I'm committing myself to a full shot to the green, I put it closer than when I'm 50 yards out. I could really learn something from that. Well, let's try and finish with a par. That'd be great. 4 pars, irons only. Quite tough in that wind on the way out. Downwind kind of rode it a little bit for a couple of holes there. In a position now that we can possibly achieve level par. Fingers crossed. This is not working though. Got a new one ordered though. Arm lock, Odyssey 1 wide. Looking forward to it. There we go, it was meant to be. I feel as though I deserve 4 pars there, you know that, I really worked hard for that. So there you go, iron, striking, commit to everything, have a focus on the application of what's actually happening as opposed to the outcome. If you've subscribed to the channel, thank you. If you've not, just hit the subscribe button, thumbs up button as well, and also leave a comment, bell notification, all these things, that helps the YouTube algorithm and it's much appreciated. Thank you very much.